Yo, what's good, you guys? Dan is not available right now, so I'm not able to go to a private server to teach you guys this, unfortunately. But I will be able to still teach you guys how to do defense just purely off of playing and being able to show you guys what you're really looking forward to doing. So really, what you're going to be wanting to use is you pretty much never want to use bump at all unless it's the last touch. Then you got to use bump to get it over, only if it is the last option for defense. Now, what you really want to be doing is using set and dive. And what you'll be looking out for is exactly where they're positioned. So depending on like how the person's camera is turned, if you learned in the basic tutorial of the spiking is where the ball is going to be going. So if you're able to tell who's jumping for the ball and you guys can actually see where it's going, then you'll be able to react off of that and you'll want to dive in that area because what it's going to do is it will give you a lingering hitbox versus like a set that is like you have to hit the ball. And pretty much what that means is as long as you're still in the dive animation and that ball fires off, as long as you're still in that animation, you're still going to hit it up. And it is just as valuable as a set because it goes up like a set would. The only difference is you can't control the direction that it goes in. It'll just go straight up every time. But that's honestly a-okay. And that's really what you want to be doing for your dives is just looking for their position and then you want to align yourself with it and then think about their power depending on where they are and then you'll have to dive. If they're up close to the net, like if a spiker is close to the net, you automatically know that it's going to be a sharper. Oh my goodness. You automatically know that it's going to be a sharper spike. So it's always most likely going to be within this white line right here. And so at most it's going to be right here. But then you can just tell by the angle. Because like if they're just up front like this, you know it's going to be landing like right here. But if they are like down here, they're facing this way, you're going to end up having to receive it on like this side. But they would have to do it, obviously over here on that side. And that's how you're going to really be telling where the ball is with the line of sight. And to really tell when it's happening, you just got to really pay attention to the ball. You see who's jumping and the person that is closest to it. You got to read that trajectory before it really goes off. My bad, I'm not paying attention. I can't really focus and defend at the same time while talking. It's kind of tough. But that's what you'll really want to do. In blocking in this game, I'm going to be honest, unless it is your only method at the moment and that is your instinct, it is not something you should be using. Because blocking really just gives the enemy the ball. It's not going to score you any points unless all the teammates are really bad. And if you're playing at a high level competition to where this is going to matter anyways, to the point to where you're just sweating and you want to win, then you're most likely going to be going against people that you need to use this method for. And what you're going to want to do, I guess I wasn't able to do it here. But instead of doing a block, you're just going to want to set. Like, why wouldn't you? Because the set has the same hitbox as a block does, and the only difference is instead of it hitting it over, it's just going to set it up. So why wouldn't you block the ball with the set over doing a block? And see there, I just misread, but it works just the same. The only thing is sometimes if it's like a really powerful shot, it's not going to go through you, but it'll go below you a bit. So it'll be a lower set, but it's not over the net, which means you just save the ball. You got one touch, somebody else can touch it to save it, and you'll be chilling, straight up. And so that's just really what I recommend. I don't recommend blocking. It gives the enemy the ball. Nothing is worse than giving enemies a free ball, especially considering that they can hit a low. And if they do hit a low, then there is no reason because like it's really hard. You can't escape block once you press it, right? You're just stuck that way until you go back down on your feet. And so you're just gonna end up giving the enemy a free ball to something that would have been free to begin with. And there's not really any reason to do that at all. And one thing to keep in mind too is there is a hitbox for like the sides. So you're gonna have to like instead of like say that there's a ball flying like right here, you can't just press Q and be chilling. Even though the hitbox is pretty decently big, it'll also extend the range if you look towards the ball. So you typically want to be facing the area that you'll be trying to guard and defend. The only downside is people like that, bro. They have that type of like avatar, man, and you just can't see what's going on. And that's really the bad part about this game. But one way that you can really help with it, since most of the teammates aren't going to be on your team and they will not know the block method, or even if they do know the block method, they are closing a path. So say that there's a guy in front right here, and he's trying to, he's trying to spike the ball. You know it. You got a set. It's perfect. There's a teammate here, and let's just say there's just one teammate here. You know that the ball cannot go forward. And so now you have two options. You can either go here or you can go here. And so it's a 50-50. And what you're going to want to do is press Q as soon as he reaches the height and he's about to swing. And then it should theoretically go to you. Now you can wait for the ball and actually see for it to move, but if it's somebody like me with max spike, I'm not gonna lie, you're not reacting to the ball. It's just hitting the ground immediately. It's like hit scan. So most of the time you'll be good for just like pressing Q as soon as you see them about to hit the ball, and then it'll just go into your hands. It's nice. It's chill. And this is really useful for if you have more than one guy. Because say you got like sped teammates on your thing, they're just always jumping for the ball. Cool. You can use them to your advantage because they're always going to be up front. They're always going to be blocking and hitting the ball over it because that's all they know how to do. They can just touch the ball. And so you're going to be using them to narrow down the options because you know that they cannot hit it in front of them. So you're going to go to one side and your friend can go to the other side, and then that's pretty much a guaranteed ball. Unless they do something weird, they can tap it over by doing a set instead of a spike. Or they could just hit a really sharp shot that was just like, just impossible to save anyways. And so in that case, you couldn't save it. It just came down to luck. But by narrowing down the options, you're going to be getting way more saves that way. And just to show you guys that I know what I'm doing, I have career stats, and I have 987 saves. That is a really massive amount of saves, especially considering that is like 1/3 of my spikes, and I am primarily a spiker. Granted, I am a Libero spiker, but that's a lot of saves, especially for somebody that has a style that isn't really inherently too good for saves, because I do not have that much speed. I'm still getting a ton just by narrowing down the options. So that just goes to prove that it is a weapon that you can use no matter what style you have, and it is something you should keep in mind. But I think that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was really helpful to you guys. I think this is personally one of the most useful things you can learn in the game. My next video, I'm hoping if I can get somebody on, is to show an advanced tutorial on spikes, how to hit certain spikes, how to get around your defender and blocking, and make sure that you can get the shot no matter what, and how to really limit down how many low shots you get, because I'm going to be honest, I get maybe one, maybe two in a match, and that is typically because I went for something stupid that I shouldn't have been going for anyways. If there is a shot that I'm going to hit, it's going to be hit hard. Rather, I'm missing the shot because I just made the wrong read on the momentum of the ball, or it's just going in. There's no in between. The only thing that could really change and stop me right now is if they have a good Libero that knows the options that I just talked about right now, to where they'll use the blockers to limit down the options of where the ball can go. Those guys can stop me, but that's only because they know what they're doing in the game, like people should be. Like, if you're a good defender, you're going to be locking down the offense no matter how good it is. Like, you just are. There's no way around it. And that's why I think defense is one of the most important tutorials in this game. And I think this will completely shut down the people that you're going up against. But have a good day, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.